Has atheism delivered on its promises? Let's look at this famous clip of British philosopher Bertrand Russell explaining why he was not a Christian.
Why are you not a Christian?
Because I see no evidence whatever for any of the Christian dogmas. I've examined all the stock arguments in favor of the existence of God, and none of them seem to me to be logically valid.
Do you think there's a practical reason for having a religious belief for many people?
Well, there can't be a practical reason for believing what isn't true. That's quite, at least I rule it out as impossible. Either the thing is true or it isn't. If it is true, you should believe it, and if it isn't, you shouldn't. And if you can't find out whether it's true or whether it isn't, you should suspend judgment. But you can't, it seems to me, a fundamental dishonesty and a fundamental treachery to intellectual integrity to hold a belief because you think it's useful and not because you think it's true.
What a fascinating interview. In a lecture in 1927 entitled Why I'm Not a Christian, this is what Bertrand Russell also said: religion is based primarily upon fear of the unknown, and partly with the wish to feel that you have a kind of elder brother who will stand by you in all your troubles and disputes. In this world, we can now begin to understand things, to master them with the help of science. Science can help us get over this fear. Our hearts can teach us to no longer look around for imaginary supports, to no longer invent allies in the sky, but rather to look to our own efforts here below to make this world a fit place to live in. Incredible to think, isn't it, a century on from when Bertrand Russell said that almost. Where are we today? What kind of world have we built? What sort of society is Britain today? Well, it's one that we all know in many ways is falling apart. 40% or thereabouts of marriages end in divorce. Domestic violence is up to 2.1 million each year. 50% of adults describe themselves as lonely. Sometimes 7% say that they're always lonely. That's almost 1 in 10 people. Self-harm is up to 6%. There are about 300,000 abortions taking place each year. Other countries of the world, 2 large countries in which there are 2 million baby girls left out on the streets every year to die. Have we made this incredible world by science and our developing technologies that Bertrand Russell envisaged? Well, I would say no. He said that in 1927. We remember the horrors of the Second World War, and then we remember the atomic bomb, what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We've seen that human technology and development is a mixed blessing. Yes, we've got our iPhones, and we're perhaps able to communicate better with others than we were in the past, but it's a mixed blessing. And with technology and scientific development, there are also incredibly evil things being done. Quite recently, a tech billionaire was asked whether or not in developing AI he wanted the human race to continue. The fact that he paused and had to give it some serious thought before he actually answered was very worrying. It was as if, like, this man was considering, is it worth the human race carrying on at all? Or is transhumanism and some sort of hybrid with technology, is that really the way forwards at all? By science and technology, we've not been able to make a perfect world, a perfect utopia for ourselves. Atheism hasn't delivered by taking away things that were imagined to be in the sky. We haven't set ourselves free. We're more anxious, we're more worried, we're more afraid than we've ever been. Now, what Bertrand Russell failed to appreciate was that atheism is a strange thing. There's a true atheism and there's a false atheism. True atheism, there are all kinds of gods worshipped all around the world by many, many people. Early followers of Jesus were known as the atheists because they said that they did not believe in those gods. The Hebrew prophets in the Bible, Isaiah and Jeremiah especially, they would make fun of those human gods. So they would say that they're just made out of a piece of wood or they're made out of a piece of stone. They're carried by their worshippers, but they can't carry anybody else. And they are unworthy of human worship. In other words, that true atheism, not believing in the gods of human invention, is something that Christians have always taken the lead on. If it wasn't for the Christian contribution, people like Bertrand Russell and more recently Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, Christopher Hitchens, they would most likely have been worshipping the spirits of trees and of rocks in the way that many, many people have done around the world. That false atheism then, not the true atheism of the Christian, but the false atheism of Bertrand Russell. In the Bible, the atheism of Bertrand Russell, which is turned towards the true God, is foolishness. It's not ever taken seriously in the Bible. There are no arguments given against the idea of atheism. There are no famous proofs that later Christian thinkers developed, maybe not all that helpfully at all. In the Bible, in Psalm 14 and in Psalm 53, later picked up by the Apostle Paul, it's very simply said, the fool has said in their heart that there is no God. It's a very foolish position to take. We're seeing that more and more. Atheism has run its course. It goes in cycles. It's had its time again in the sun. It will die. It may be buried. It may be revived, in a few decades' time. Somebody will come along and make it seem as if it's a brilliant original idea that they've stumbled upon, that they're powerful enough to kill God and to get rid of that idea. But they're sadly behind the times. The real and the true God was already killed almost 2,000 years ago on the cross of Calvary. He allowed us, the human race, to kill him, to get rid of him, because he loved us and because he wanted in that great act to bear away all of our sins, to pay the price for our sins, and to reconcile us and bring us back to himself forever. He walked out of the grave and he is alive forever and ever. Jesus Christ is the true God. He is the God of Wales. He's the God of Britain. He's the God of the nations and the God of the world. Atheism, the false atheism of Bertrand Russell, was always a thought experiment that was due to fail, bound to fail, right from the very beginning. Many, many people who've tried that dark rabbit hole and found that they haven't had any answers are coming back to church, coming to trust in Jesus. The doors are open. Come inside. Come and meet Jesus. Come and find out what life is all about. Come and meet the true and the real God. Not the God of human invention that we carry around. No, the God who carries us, who made the galaxies, and who in great love and kindness has come to save us.